Hello guys, how are you doing? This is your boy Brian coming back to you with this brand new video. It's always a pleasure, as you know, to make these videos for you guys and talk about the things that we care about, things that we love, movies, MMA, and football. On this special video, I'm going to be talking about movies and especially the new DC universe that is being created by James Gunn and Peter Safran. These are the two people that were entrusted with the new DC universe, and we are waiting for the first movie that will launch the universe, which is Superman Legacy. But on this video, I will be talking about the four reasons I believe this universe is kind of doomed. It's kind of meant to fail in a way. I know this is not what most people want to hear, but I was thinking about the new DC universe, and I was thinking about all the reasons that could make it a success and all the reasons that could make it a failure. But I want first to talk about the reasons that could make it a failure. With that being said, let's start with the very first reason I feel like this universe is doomed to fail. The first reason is the superhero fatigue, right? The comic book movies. If you look at the recent movies that have come out, you look at the response from the public, you feel like there is a fatigue. I'm talking about the superhero fatigue, but that's not really what I feel deep down. It's not really the reason that people are not as intrigued and as excited to watch the comic book movies. I just mentioned that as a reason. But I feel like whenever people are go out to watch a superhero movie, before it used to be something new, and the story that were being told were diverse, and people would get something different and entertaining in the money that they would pay. But having watched the last few comic book movies, it's like the same movie but with different characters. There is no depth in the story that is being told. There is no originality. There is nothing that would make these movies stand out from like all the rest. It's like you are watching one movie over and over and over again. I'm going to give you an example of like the Flash movie, the last Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, No Way Home. I'm going to give you an example of Doctor Strange, the number 2. If you look at these three movies and they ask you to tell me what really is the difference between these three movies, there is no depth in these movies. Like it's like you are rewatching the same movie, and there is no specific message that will touch people. Like people want to see their heroes. Yes, people want to see Flash. They want to see Spider-Man. They want to see Doctor Strange. But there needs to be a very specific and depth in the story that you are telling. It's movies, and movies are meant to be magical, and they are meant to be an experience, and each movie should have a very particular experience. If you look at these three movies, there is just popcorn moments, there is just actions, there is just some emotional moments that are manipulated, not earned. Like when you go back to the real good and the very great era of comic book movies, they were not trying to manipulate your emotions. They were creating them from they were earned, right, from the story points to everything that the movie wanted to pass as a message. Right now it's just the same thing. They try to manipulate your emotion. They try to bring old characters like Batman. Yeah, did we really need to see the old Batman, like Michael Keaton's Batman in The Flash? Really? I feel like it wasn't really necessary. It was just they wanted to play with people's emotion, and yeah, you know what? The movie overall failed to impress. You go back to No Way Home. I know many people love that movie. For me, for example, I felt like, there were just moments of like, not earned emotions, not earned, like, we saw Andrew Garfield pop in the movie. I liked it, yes, but then what? We saw, like, Tobey Maguire, pop up in the movie. We liked it, but then what? Like, these are manipulated emotions that they are trying to create instead of earned emotions. So that's one of the reasons that people are becoming aware of that, and people are really getting tired of like getting that superhero fatigue, because there is nothing new special. There is no comic book movie that is coming again and giving you those goosebumps, those like unique experience, like the Dark Knight, like for example Days of Future Past, like the second X-Men movie, like Man of Steel. You know why Man of Steel, even if it's like critic wise, it's very divisive, but when you look at people who have loved that movie, still love that movie, and still like chant like glorious things about it, because that movie was an experience. It didn't try to manipulate people, like create emotions that were manipulated. It was a true comic book movie that had a story to tell, and it told that story. That story might not have been translated like or understood by people as like the director hoped it would be, but the people who understood and who love that story are followers, and they still love that movie till now. It's a different and exceptional movie. That's why. So right now, these comic book movies are missing that, and that's why this DC universe, if it falls in that trap, in just making movies like that those that we have watched, like the Bio Beatles, so like the same beats comic book movie, it's going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. You should know that already. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, this DC universe might fail, is like it's trying to be Marvel 2.0, or a pale copy of Marvel. DC cannot be Marvel. Marvel cannot be DC. The characters are different. Like, yes, you have some copycats from like DC to Marvel, and some copycats from Marvel to DC characters that are like very similar, that kind of inspire each other, but in tone, those are two different universes. And so DC trying to emulate what Marvel has done in its like movie universe, try to recreate that, they are going to fail, right? So and that is my fear. That is what I'm looking at them, and what I'm fearing that they might try to do. So trying to recreate, try to copy, right, what Marvel has done in terms of the tone of the movies, in terms of the characters and all. So if they try to do that, I'm going to guarantee you already that they're going to fail, because these are different characters, and the base fans of DC are very much different from the base fans of Marvels. Even though you want to look at the larger stakes, you want to bring in new fans and etc., but you need to keep that in mind, that these are two different characters, two different universes, and the readers are like the base fans are kind of different. So you need to separate, and you need to really find the right tone for DC movies. Look at the like past few years, the DC movies that have been successes are the ones that have tried to be their own movies, not try to copy Marvel. You look at the movie like, for example, the Batman with Robert Pattinson. You look at the movies like the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. These are movies that did not try to copy Marvel, and they stood on their own with their own tone, which are matching the DC universe tone, right? So if they try to copy what Marvel has done and say, okay, we are trying to create a universe that is going to be a success, and they try to copy, they are going to fail. They are doomed to fail. I'm letting you know already. So that is reason number two. Reason number three is everything to do with James Gunn, and that is the casting. My theory is that when as the universe is being created, James Gunn is going to be casting friends and family. We know James Gunn likes to work with the same people, the same actors, and we bring them back. And you know, it's good because that shows you that James Gunn is kind of a person that wants to be loyal to his friends. Is someone who cares about like relationships in his like in his life, and he wants to see people around him, people he's worked with, you know, keep getting work and all of that. But this is business, and this is like you trying to create something new. So it's not always a good idea to see, you know, that you are bringing in your friends, you're still bringing in your families, and you build the universe first. And then if you want to ask sometimes favor, you want to get your brother, you want to get your friend, like in a certain movie, that's good. But start by working with fresh faces, start by working with fresh people, and leave the families and friends, even if they're talented, out of the universe. But if you look at the casting of Superman Legacy, you are starting to see familiar faces already. Like for example, Nathan Fillion, you are starting to see familiar faces that he's worked with already, and that is not a good thing. So that is and can be one of the reasons that you know, this universe might fail, because people will start, you know, attaching it to other projects that you've already done in this superhero genre, sorry, and people will see like might think that it's a similar thing. Okay, I've seen that already, I've seen this face already, and it might create some confusion. So leave the people, if you care about them, you love working with them, leave them outside of this new universe, and maybe you can start, you know, putting them as cameo in other projects later on. But in the beginning, if you do that, you are doomed to fail. And the last and very final reason, draw, is James Gunn being too smart for his own good. Now, I'm going to repeat myself. James Gunn is a very talented and creative force to be reckoned with, but that might be, you know, detrimental if he tries to be involved and deeply involved in every project. And that is a fear, because if you look at Superman Legacy, he wanted already to write it, and then after writing it, he decides to direct it. So with other projects, because he's like so deep into creation, he loves creating, he might be too involved with other directors' work, other writers' work, and that might cause a failure to this universe. So those were the 4 reasons I believe that might cause this new DC universe to fail. So what do you guys think? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.